The Clockwork Dragon by Jonathan Emmett and Alice Dolan. Finished, said Max. He wound up the little clockwork horse and watched it gallop across the workbench. Just then, Max's master, the toy maker, returned. Crash! The horse galloped off the bench and smashed to pieces on the floor. You're supposed to be painting puppets, shouted the toy maker. I've told you, cogs and springs are for clocks, not toys. The toy maker was so angry that Max lost his job, so he went to look for a new one on the town notice board. There had only been one job advert, and it had been there for months. It said, "Brave knight wanted to ring the kingdom of flame-throttling and ferocious man-eating dragon." There are no other jobs, thought Max, so I suppose I should give it a try. Max knew that a knight should have a suit of armour, so he went to the armourer's workshop. "You don't look like a knight," said Lizzie, the girl who was working there. "What do you want armour for?" "I'm going to get rid of the dragon," said Max. Lizzie laughed. "You'll never do it. The only thing that could get rid of a dragon is a bigger, scarier dragon." But Lizzie's words had given Max an idea. "I think I know how I'm going to do it," he said, "but I'm going to need your help and lots of metal." Later that night, Max and Lizzie crept to the entrance of Flamethrottle's cave and quietly collected the huge heap of weapons and armour, which was all that was left of the brave knights who dare to go inside. Back at the workshop, they took everything to bits and began to make something new. They worked for 7 days and 7 nights, heating and hammering, painting and patching, and piecing together until... "It's finished," said Max, fastening the last plate in place. "It had better work," yawned Lizzie. "Of course it will work," said Max, "just as soon as we've wound it up." Flamethrottle awoke the next morning, opening his terrible jaws wide, and let out a deafening yawn. "Time for breakfast," he said. "But no more nights. I'm fed up with eating tinned food. I'll pop into town and pick up a plump princess or two." Licking his lips in anticipation, Flamethrottle left the cave to find a bigger, fiercer-looking dragon waiting outside. "What are you doing here?" it roared. I live here," said Flamethrottle nervously. "Not anymore, you don't," bellowed the new dragon. "Out!" "Right," stuttered Flamethrottle, glancing back at his treasure. "Perhaps I could just collect a few." "Out now!" roared the other dragon, chasing the terrified Flamethrottle away from the cave. "I told you this would work," grinned Max as he pulled on the controls of the Clockwork Dragon. "It's not over yet," said Lizzie as they crashed out of the forest and leapt over a startled cow. They had almost chased Flamethrottle right out of the kingdom when the huge mechanical legs slowed down and then ground to a halt. Max fiddled frantically with the controls, but nothing happened. The clockwork motor must have run down, he groaned. Realising that he was no longer being chased, Flamethrottle crept back to investigate. "What's wrong?" he asked from a safe distance. Nothing, I'm just having a rest," said Max, speaking through the pipe that made the Clockwork Dragon's voice. "What do we do?" whispered Lizzie. "If he breathes fire on us, we'll be baked alive." "If only we could wind up the motor," said Max. Meanwhile, Flamethrottle had crept closer to get a better look at the other dragon. "What's that big key for?" he asked. Then Max had another of his ideas. "Please don't touch that," he called. "It's very important." "What did you tell him that for?" hissed Lizzie. "Why is the key important?" demanded Flamethrottle. "Because I'm a mechanical dragon," replied Max. "If you turn it, my legs will lock and I won't be able to chase you." "Really?" said Flamethrottle gleefully, and he grabbed the key and gave it a turn. "Please don't turn it again," wailed Max. "If you do, my claws will lock and I won't be able to grab you." "Ooh," said Flamethrottle, and he couldn't resist giving the key another turn a couple of times. "Please stop," whimpered Max once more, "or my jaws will lock and I won't be able to eat you." So of course Flame Throttle seized the key and turned it again and again until it would move no more. "Now I've got you," yelled Flame Throttle triumphantly. "No, now I've got you," said Max, pulling hard on the controls. The fully wound Clockwork Dragon sprang forwards with gaping jaws. "Ah!" screamed Flame Throttle as the razor-sharp teeth came snapping towards him, and without stopping to see if the metal dragon's legs and claws were also working, he scrambled off out of the kingdom and was never seen again. Everyone was so pleased to be rid of Flame Throttle that Max and Lizzie were given the dragon's treasure as a reward. They used it to set up a clockwork toy shop. The shop sold everything from clockwork archers to clockwork zebras, but their most popular toy was, can you guess? Yes, it was their little clockwork dragons, of course.